If you have no idea how to play bridge, the card game bridge, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to get you up on your feet on the game of bridge. Now, for starters, I have to say that bridge is a major card game. It is the chess of card games. And what do I mean by that? Like chess, I can teach you the moves of how the pieces move, but it doesn't mean you're going to win. It takes a lifetime to master chess. And similarly, that's how bridge is. I'm going to teach you the mechanics of bridge so that you'll be able to understand what's going on. But in one video, I can't make you a master. My mother is a champion bridge player. She is 80 years old, and she plays bridge every day. And one of the things that I think that has kept her agile and her mind sharp is the fact that she plays bridge every single day. I highly recommend learning the game of bridge at some point in your life. And the reason I learned the game of bridge is so that I could do something with my mother. She taught me. She's what they call a master. She has master points. Don't worry about what that means. She plays a certain type of bridge called duplicate bridge. That's competitive bridge. Don't worry about what that means. This video is for the person who knows nothing about playing bridge. They're coming to bridge for the very first time, and they just want to learn the basic mechanics. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I can over-explain, simplify, make it so simple that you understand how to play a game. I'm going to do that with bridge. So with that said, let's just get into the top lines of what bridge is. So bridge is a card game played with 4 people. It is actually played in partners. There are 2 people. They sit across from each other. In this case, what you're looking at is me. My card's on the bottom. I have a partner sitting across from me, and my opponents are to the left and right. They're partners with each other. A lot of people who play bridge always play with the same partner. And as I get through this video, you're going to see what I mean, because there's a language that you learn to speak without speaking that is spoken in cards. And ideally, everybody, if they know how to play bridge, should come to the same conclusion. But when you've played with a bridge partner, your same bridge partner, for a long time, there's certain things that you'll do or that they'll do that will actually help you win a game because you're speaking another language. If it's confusing, don't worry, I'm going to get into it. Bridge is broken into 2 parts. Part 1 is the bidding, and part 2 is the actual playing of the round. The headline of playing the round is that it's a trick-taking game. If you've ever played other trick-taking games before, you probably think, well, I know everything there is to know about bridge. Not true. What makes bridge interesting is that it's elevated. If you've ever played spades, where you have to guess the number of tricks you're going to make, which is a bid round, and then you play, you think, well, maybe I know what bridge is. But bridge is like the king of that. The people who come to the game of bridge because they love it are playing because of the bid round, which is where I'm going to go in just a second. If you don't know what a trick-taking game is, don't worry. I have an entire video on what a trick-taking game is, and I'm going to teach trick-taking in just a second. So let's break down each of the 2 steps of playing bridge one at a time. So the 4 of you are sitting there, me across from my partner, my 2 opponents who are also partners with each other on the left and right. Players are each dealt the entire deck, which means every single person gets 13 cards. And you look at your cards, you should put your cards in order of put the suits all together and then in a order of lowest to highest of each suit. If you look down here, you'll see that I have 4 sets of suits in order. It takes a long time to understand what your cards are, but what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to make bids. You're not allowed to speak and say to your partner, hey, I've got 5 spades. You can't speak. But ironically, in the bidding, you are essentially communicating this type of stuff. And this is why I say having a bridge partner that you've played with a long time or understanding the real mechanics of bidding is the game. Essentially what you're doing in the bidding is everybody is going around, and just through calling out a number and a suit, you're essentially trying to communicate a contract. How many tricks do you think you can win when it comes time to actually make the trick-taking part? And so you're trying to suss out exactly how many tricks, based on what you have in your hand and what everyone else is bidding, how many tricks you can win, and then when you play the round of tricks, which we'll get to, you essentially want to make your contract. What you're looking at here is essentially the lineup of bidding. It's my turn to go first, but let's look at what we have here. We have one of clubs, two of clubs, three of clubs, one of diamonds, two of diamonds, three of diamonds, and so on, one of hearts, one of spades. First of all, the hierarchy of the suits is important. The hierarchy is written right here. The lowest one is actually the club, followed by the diamonds, followed by the heart, and the highest one, the spades, is the highest suit. Now, you'll also notice one even higher here, which is NT, stands for no trump. If you've ever played games where, for example, like spades, where you have the spade card as your trump card, which does, if you haven't, don't worry, I'm going to explain all of this. Bridge is sort of like a game where you actually can choose what suit you want to be the trump card. And it's done based on, say, what you have in your hand or what your partner has in your hand. So you look at your cards and you start to make bids. And the way the bidding works is it starts with the lowest number, goes through each of the suits, then goes to the next number, 2, goes through each of the suits, and the next number, 3. Unless you're going to pass, which I can talk about in a second, the lowest bid is a 1 of clubs. If I bid a 1 of clubs, then it goes in a clockwise motion. I'm considered south, so the person to my left, which would be west, it's their turn to bid. They have to bid or pass, and they would continue to bid up. For example, 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade, 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 2 no trumps. And once you start bidding higher and higher and higher, you could never go lower in the order of the bidding. So, for example, if I was to come out and bid 2 of clubs, nobody could around the table then could follow my bid with 1 something. I have declared 2 of clubs. Somebody could then maybe bid 2 of diamonds or 2 of spades or 2 no trump or even jump to 3. But essentially, you start at the lowest, 1 of clubs, and you're working your way up to the highest. Now, if you're asking, well, what am I bidding on? What does all this mean? Don't worry, I'm going to get to all of that. Imagine in chess the thousands of books that have been written on opening moves in chess. The Queen's Gambit denied. All of these conventions. Well, that's what the bidding of bridge is. There are so many conventions and so many books written on this idea. When you see, for example, let's say you were to bid 1 spade, what you're saying is, I believe I can make the contract of 1 if spades was the trump card. Now, let me take a step back here because this is important. It doesn't mean that you have to win 1 spade. When you play bridge and it's a contract with 1, it's actually assuming that you're already going to win 6. So to bid 1 something, 1 spade, 1 heart, 1 no trump, means you're going to win 7 tricks. There's only 13 rounds. So you're saying to even enter this game, you already have to declare that you can win more than half of the tricks. Yes, you need to be able to say, even to make a bid of 1, that I'm going to win 7 tricks. If you don't know what a trick is, don't worry, we're going to get to that. And you have your cards, and your partner has their cards, and you have to know, like, what do I have, and what does my partner have? And the only way to communicate is by bidding. So even though you have to step into this game and bid something, you're immediately bidding something to say, I can win 7 tricks. Or 8 tricks if you go, say, 2 of something. Or 9 tricks if it's 3 of something. Or 7 tricks means you think you're going to get a slam, meaning you're going to win every trick. That's why you start at the beginning, the 1s, 1 club, then go to the higher suits, diamonds, hearts, spades, and higher and higher and higher. This is where the language of bidding comes in. Now, you also have the option of passing. And the way it works is everyone's going to go around and bid higher and higher and higher. It's sort of like that game show Name That Tune, where it's like, you know, I can name it in 1 note. I can name it in 2 notes. I can name it in 3 notes. Actually, it's the opposite of Name That Tune. But the point is, you're sort of like bidding and everyone's getting higher and higher and higher until suddenly you bid something and the other 3 people pass. And when they pass, whatever you bid is the contract that you made, which now the game is about you making that contract through playing tricks, or your opponents who are now defending, basically trying to hope that you don't make that contract playing bridge. Confused? Don't worry. I'm still going to get you there. So we're going to go ahead for the point of this video and look at our cards, and we say, hey, we've got only one heart, we've got 4 clubs, and we've got 2 diamonds. But our cards aren't actually great. They're not high cards. I see 1 king, but I don't really have any other. I don't have any aces. I don't really have much. And part of what you look at your hand is going to determine what you bid. Maybe you have a run on a bunch of cards. Well, you have like a bunch of clubs. Well, that's good. Or maybe you have a lot of high cards, but they're spread out among suits. Or maybe you have a lot in one suit, or whatever it is. But what you need to do is you need to communicate with your partner what you have through bidding. And the truth of it is, that's sort of what trick-taking means. So before I continue with the bidding, I'm just going to take 30 seconds and talk about trick-taking. If you know how a trick-taking game works, you probably can skip this 30 seconds, although there is an important change that happens in bridge that's typical from other trick-taking games since you're playing with a partner, which you need to see. But the basics of a trick-taking game are this. The first person lays down a card. Whatever suit that is, if it's diamonds, hearts, spades, everybody then must go around in the clockwise motion and lay down 1 card from their hand, and they must follow suit. So if you lay down a diamond, everybody goes around, and if they have a diamond, lays down a diamond. The person at the end with the highest diamond wins that trick. They get to keep the little cards. They put them next to them so they can count their tricks. That's 1 trick. And the person who wins the trick gets to lead the next trick with whatever card they choose, whatever the next card is. So not only do you win a trick, but you also get to lead, which gives you some control in the game. Now, if you don't have a card, for example, if the lead card was a diamond and everybody played their diamonds, but you don't have a diamond, you can play another card, but you're essentially throwing away that card. Now, if there is a trump card, meaning if one of the suits has been declared a trump suit, let's say it's heart, and everyone's going around laying down their diamonds, and you don't have a diamond, but you have a heart, that's called a trump card. If you declare, say, hearts being the trump suit, then any heart, even the lowest hearts, 2 of hearts, since aces are always high, is better than any other card on the deck. So in other words, an ace of spades, if hearts was trump, an ace of spades would lose to any heart, a 2 of heart even. But you can't play a trump card unless you don't have the lead card. So the one thing that you can almost guarantee is that the higher cards you have in a suit, the queens, the kings, and the aces, you have a more likelihood to win that trick. The only thing that would stop you is somebody has a trump card. And a person can't play a trump card if they can follow suit. If you lay down a lead card and everybody has that suit, they must play that suit, and the person who has the highest suit, ace being the highest, would win it. So that's essentially the 30-second pitch of trick-taking. There's going to be more to it when I get back to it later on in this video. But now let's get back to the bidding. If I had a lot of high cards, I might actually start. But what I don't have here is I don't have a lot of high cards. 1 jack, I've got a king, and that's really my only face cards. I have no aces. Really, I don't have a strong enough hand to say, hey, I can win 7 tricks here. So I'm going to pass, and it's going to go to the person to my left to either bid or pass. But really what I'm passing is I'm communicating, and this is with the complex part of bridge, I'm communicating, I don't have a great hand. I pass. So let's say, so the opponent to my left, to the west, he wound up opening. He said, I have 1 heart, meaning it's an opening bid that he's sort of communicating to his partner saying, I got some good hearts here. And so he's bidding 1 heart. So now it's my partner's turn to bid. He sits across from me. He's playing north. I'm south. And he's bid 2 diamonds. Well, it doesn't mean that he has a ton of diamonds. Maybe he wanted to have bid 1 diamond, but because the west bid 1 heart, he couldn't go backwards in the suit order. It goes clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. So he wanted to communicate to me, what I'm holding is diamonds. I don't know how many diamonds, but what he's trying to say is, I've got some diamonds here. I guess to say to me, like, how are you in the diamond department? Which I can tell you, I don't have a lot of diamonds. But then let's go to the east. So my opponent's 2 players, the one to my left, he started with 1 hearts. Now the one to my right, he's trying to communicate to his partner on my left, and he says 2 hearts. Again, you can't go backwards. It has to get higher. But by him coming back to hearts, what he's saying is, hey, I got a lot of hearts too. You got hearts? I got hearts. Well, I can tell you I don't have a lot of hearts, so that's probably where the hearts are. Now, even by bidding 2 hearts, it means that no matter what, they're going to have to make 6 plus 2 or 8 tricks with a heart being trump. Again, and to just remind you, there is the option of no trump, which is even higher than a trump suit. But what they're saying is, you got hearts, I got hearts. And I'm going to get to this in another video, but there's actually a point system that over the years people have made to make bidding sort of easier. Like you count up how many cards you have and hearts, aces and kings and queens, and based on this, it tells you basically what your bid should be. So the opponent to the right is saying, I got a lot of hearts too. I'm guessing, therefore, my partner doesn't have that many either. If these guys to my west and east have a lot of hearts, there's nothing I can counter here. I don't have high cards. I can't guarantee any wins. I'm going to have to pass again. So let's go ahead and see what West does. Well, West actually upped it even more. West is communicating back to his partner in the east like, no, you don't understand. If you've got hearts, I got a lot. When I said 1 heart, I was just opening with a heart to communicate that I had hearts. Now that you tell me you got a lot of hearts, I'm going to tell you, no, I've got a ton of hearts. So he's come up to 3 of hearts. That's a lot. That means he's saying, if you give me hearts as trump, I am going to win 9 tricks. 6 plus 3. My contract is he's saying is I can win 9 tricks of the 13 tricks. To which my partner, since I passed, is like, well, there really isn't much I can do that's going to top 3 of a hearts, because my partner would therefore have to go higher into 3 of spades or 3 no trump or into 4s. There's no way we want to get that high if I've passed right out of the box and basically said I have nothing. So my partner passes. The person to the right, east, which is West's partner, is saying, hey, you've got 3 hearts. That's pretty good. And now the south and the north have passed. I'll pass too, because if you think pretty solidly you can make a contract, you can make 9 tricks, 6 plus 3, with hearts being trump. Let's go for that. So he passes because he's basically saying, you go for it. And now we're going to move. And then what am I going to do? I don't have a choice. I'm going to pass too. And as soon as I pass, as soon as there's 3 passes, West wins this contract with 3 hearts. It will be now time to get into the second part, which is trick taking, where he and his partner, West and East, will be trying to get 9 tricks. And me and my partner, North and South, will be trying to defend in our best way of hoping they don't get 9 tricks. Now, if you've played trick taking before, like I said, great, but there's another part to this that you don't know that I must go over right now as we go into trick taking. So I'm going to pass, and the contract's going to start. The contract was passed. West and East are going to play together as a team now, and they're going to try to make their contract of 3 hearts, which is 9 tricks, 6 plus 3, using hearts as trump. Which leads us to the first thing you have to know, which is, now that the bidding is over and it's time for trick taking, and West is the one that is controlling the contract, meaning they are the ones who won their contract bid, they're the ones that need to hit this number, their partner on the other side of the table lays their cards down upright, this is important, and doesn't play. West actually is going to play both his cards, which are face down or in his hand, and he's going to play his partner's hand, which now has to be turned upside down for everybody at the table to see. And this is important because West now knows what's in his hand and what in his partner's hand. And his trick-taking is not just about laying down his cards. His trick-taking is about thinking how to make these 9 tricks where sometimes I win the trick, sometimes I let my partner win the trick, so that back and forth collectively they end up with the 9 tricks to make their contract. So even before we start to play, everybody at the table now sees what East had. He has 3 diamonds. He has some really good clubs. And he really only had 4 hearts, but they were high hearts. They were 9, 10, and Jack. Now it becomes a basic trick-taking situation. My partner started. He laid down the first card. He laid down a spade, to which immediately the opponent across laid down a higher spade. Now this is important. One of the reasons people say that it's great for your mind to play bridge is because to play bridge is not just about the strategy of bidding, it's actually, in the trick-taking part of the game, the strategy of memorizing. My partner started and laid down a queen. East lays down a king. It's my turn. I have to follow suit. I obviously can't. I don't have an ace. There's no way I'm going to win this trick because you need to go higher than the king. Remember, you either, if you have the suit, you lay it down. If you don't have the suit, you can trump. In this particular case, I must follow suit. It was open with a spade. The next person laid down a higher spade than my partner. But I know that there's one higher card on the table, and that is a ace of spades, which hasn't been played. And I don't have an ace of spade. It's important to remember, hey, there's an ace of spade on the table. Now, since I know that I'm not going to win this, I'm just going to play my lowest spade. There's all my spades. I'll play my lowest spade. East and West wins their first trick. They need to get 9. Because East won that with the highest, with the king, he gets to then lead with the next trick, and he immediately already leads with what he knows. He leads with that heart, knowing, I'm sure, that between all of their hearts, they could probably suss out a lot of wins to hopefully make their contract of 9 tricks. I must follow suit. I only have 1. I will have to play my 1 and only heart. Obviously, I'm not going to win. And oddly, my partner had a high heart, so he won that trick. So that's good for us. We won 1 trick. That is preventing them from maybe getting their 9 tricks. So now my partner can lead again, and he leads with another heart. Well, the person to the east plays a better heart. Now remember, it's important to know what's been played. So he played that jack, knowing that a queen's been played. I don't have a heart, so I can't follow suit. So I'll just play my lowest card. I'll play 3 of diamonds. But by me not playing a heart, it's also telling the table, I don't have any hearts, because if I had a heart, I'd play it. So the person to the west just plays a low heart and lets East win the trick. So now that they have 2 tricks total, the person to my right decides to not continue with the hearts, even though hearts is their trump. He lays down the 9. I only have 1 diamond left. I'm forced to play it. I'm obviously not going to win it. They lay down a 10, and my partner wins the trick because he has an ace of diamonds. We've won our second trick. My opponent gets to lead the next round of tricks. He starts with a 6 of diamonds. Now, you got to remember, we all know that a 9 and a 10 was played, and an ace was played in the last trick. So there still is jacks and queens, high diamonds somewhere in there. The East plays the jack of diamonds. I'm out of diamonds now. People probably are going to be shocked when I play another suit. I'll play a 3. People already know I don't have hearts. Now they know I don't even have any more diamonds. The opponent to the west, he played that queen of diamonds and won that trick. That makes 3 of their 9 tricks, and he gets to lead on the next one. So he leads immediately with an ace of spades. He knows that I don't have any hearts. As long as my partner doesn't trump with a heart, he's going to win this trick. So everyone is playing their spades. I'm going to play my lowest spade. And West wins the trick, and now he's playing his highest trump card, the ace of hearts. I, again, don't have any hearts, so I have to just play something else. I'll play my lowest club, which is a 5 of clubs. And now West starts by playing the 2 of clubs. Why would he start with a 2 of clubs? Well, it's because he can see what his partner is playing, because he's playing those cards on the other side. So he sees that there's an ace in the east side, so he knows he's going to play this trick, which he'll win because he'll lead with the 2 of clubs, and he's going to close with the ace of clubs, knowing that he is going to win this. My opponent laid down a queen of clubs. They have to follow suit, as I have to follow suit. There's no point in me laying down this king of clubs. Maybe I'll have an opportunity to use it and win a trick later. I'm just going to play my lowest clubs, since there's no way I'm going to win this trick. So my opponent's team won that next trick. They now have 6 of their 9, and they've come out with another club. which in my opinion is a mistake, because if you've memorized the cards, you know that a queen was played, you know that an ace was played in the last trick, but a king hasn't been played. So somewhere there's a king on this table, and I have it. So I guess I'll play it. The only way I would lose is that if West does not have a club, they may play a heart and trumpet, but I don't think so. They had a club. And so I won that trick, which is great because there's only 4 cards left and they have to win 3 more of these tricks. Now, if I was to actually step back and say, look at these clubs, I happen to know this 9 of clubs has got to be the highest clubs because I've seen the ace of clubs, I've seen the queen of clubs, I've seen the jack of clubs, I played the king of clubs, and I've seen the 10 of clubs. This is why remembering your old tricks is a good idea. I'll play this. Unless if somebody has another club, they must play a club. I can see here on the East definitely has clubs. The question will be, does West have any more clubs? If not, they're going to play a heart and trumpet. So I'll play my club. Do they have a club? They don't. So they did play that heart and trumpet. So no matter what, they've won that trick, and they get to lead the next one. And they lead with a 6 of spades. My opponent has no spades, or he would have played it. West obviously knows that his partner, which he's playing, which is East, has no spades, so he played it. But here's where I'm about to successfully defend the contract. I'm going to play my spade, which is higher than his spade, and win this trick. And now I get to lead the next trick, where I'm going to play my 10, and I'm going to lose it because I can see already here on the East, he doesn't have a 10, so he'll probably play his heart, which is the trump card, and win it. But let's see what happens. And then he'll lead his last one with a diamond. I don't have a diamond, so I have to just throw mine in. And so they made their contract. They got 9 out of 9. If you actually know how to play bridge and you watch that, you're going to say, I would have done so many things differently. And that's fine, because what I'm really trying to get you to do is just understand the mechanics of the game. There's so much more, and I would love to get into it, but it's a lot of work. People pay a lot of money for bridge teachers and bridge lessons. I would be happy to make more bridge videos, but only if you tell me in the comments that you're interested. Thank you so much.